Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Berrigan. And in today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the relationships between the place value positions. So your objective is to be able to describe the relationship between those positions. So let's take a look at our base 10 blocks. Please note that one cube will represent 1 unit, a long will represent 10 units, a flat will represent 100 units, and a cube represents 1,000 units. When we're talking about the relationships, I want you to note that as we move along the left of a place value chart, we see the values are 10 times as much as the positions to the right. So let's take a closer look at what that means. Look at the long and compare it to the small cube. The long is 10 times as much as the small cube. Why? Because it takes 10 cubes to make a long. Let's compare the flat to a long. The flat is 10 times as much as the long. Why? Because it takes 10 longs to make a flat. Look at the large cube and compare it to the flat. The large cube is 10 times as much as the flat. Why? Because it takes 10 flats to make a cube. What if we go to the right? What happens to our numbers? As we're moving to the right along the places, the values are getting smaller. They are 1/10 of the position to its left. And please note that when we say 1/10, it's the same thing as saying as we're dividing by 10. So let's take a look at those positions and those relationships. Let's look at the flat and compare it to the large cube. We can see the flat is 1/10 of the large cube. Why is that? Because it takes 10 flats to make a cube. So the flat is 1/10 of the cube. Let's compare the long and the flat. The long is 1/10 of the flat. And why? Because it takes 10 longs to make a flat. So the long is 1/10 of that flat. Now let's take a look at the small cube and compare it to the long. We can see the small cube is 1/10 of the long. Why? Because it takes 10 cubes to make a long, so the cube is 1/10 of the long. Now let's take a look at an example. In the number 4,839,980, and I want to know the value of the 9 in the thousands place is blank, the value of the 9 in the hundreds place. Well, first of all, let's look at each value. The 9 in the thousands place, its value is 9,000. The 9 in the hundreds place, its value is 900. Now we want to know the relationship between the thousands and the hundreds. I placed a circle over the 9 in the thousands place. The value is 9,000. And then I placed an underline. I underlined the 9 in the hundreds place, and its value is 900. So I can see that 9,000 is 10 times greater than 900. Again, this is bigger. This is bigger, so it's 10 times that amount. So to complete the statement, the value of the 9 in the thousands place is 10 times the value of the 9 in the hundreds place. On example 2, we have the number 5,907,883. The value of the 8 in the tens place is blank, the value of the 8 in the hundreds place. So now we're comparing the tens to the hundreds. So the value of the 8 in the tens place is 80. The value of the 8 in the hundreds is 800. So we can see that the 8 in the tens place is 1/10 of the value of the 8 in the hundreds. This is smaller. So when it's smaller, it is 1/10 of. So I hope this helps you understand the relationships between the place value positions. Please note that 1/10 is the same thing as saying dividing by 10. And also, when you have questions dealing with the positions, it's always going to be either times 10 or 1/10 of, because we use here in the United States, we use a base 10 system. Okay, well, I hope this helps. And have a great day. Bye.